Are you ready to branch out, to take a leap of faith, to love yourself and others fully? Then let go of whatever no longer serves you to take action now on Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, and letting it go. Erica will energize and excite you to power up your passionate dream that sets your soul on fire. With Erica's E3 approach, equipping, empowering, and enlightening yourself so you can be yourself for yourself. Get ready and get rooted to live a life without regrets, without what ifs, without should haves, and especially without empty feelings from a life unexplored. This hit show helps you build powerful and intentional roots to live it up, love it up, and let it go. Get fearlessly ready and powerfully rooted in your yes with your host, Erica Gifford Mills, and be fearless about your more and stand in your yes. Now on Get Rooted Radio.
Happy New Year, everyone. I am Erica Gifford Mills, and you are listening to Get Rooted Radio, living it up, loving it up, letting it go, right here on Transformation Talk Revolution. A big shout out to my producer today, Jessica. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, and I am so excited to be here with you today.
I know it's been a while since you've been on the show with me, and I love it because we always have some fun chats. And I just wanted to remind our listeners that you can now watch Get Rooted Radio live at ttrnnetwork.com. Make sure to subscribe for updates so you never miss a new episode. And don't forget, you can join the discussion. Just click on the player and hit the ask button to send your comments and questions live during the show. And today's episode is From Burnout to Brilliance, Marketing Made Simple for Authors. And as an author, I love this topic. I think I'm going to learn a lot today. Today, my guest, Karlyn Ankrom, founder of OSnap Social, shares her raw story of burnout running a full-scale social media agency while becoming a new mom. What felt like the scariest chapter, losing her creative spark, became the catalyst for building a new way forward. Out of that experience came the Expert Excellence Engine, a framework designed to help authors market their books with ease, confidence, and intention without chasing algorithms or second-guessing every post, which I love and I know I can use myself. But I want to tell you a little bit more about Karlyn to begin with. She is the founder, as I said, of OSnap Social and the creator of the Expert Excellence Engine. That is a strategic content program built specifically for nonfiction authors who want to keep the momentum going well beyond their book launch. With a background in journalism and over 15 years of experience in digital marketing, she knows how to turn books into business-building assets. Her work focuses on helping authors turn their expertise into consistent content that attracts the right audience, builds trust, and drives results. Through their Expert Excellence Engine, she supports authors in transforming their books from expensive business cards into ongoing content ecosystems, whether their book launched 3 days ago or 3 years ago. When authors are ready to move beyond launch day and build lasting visibility, the one call you need to make is to her. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much for having me. And what an intro. I'm like, and I'm done here. Like, what else is there?
I just told you everything you need to know. No, because during this first segment, I want to know the story, right? We're going to talk about burnout and the breaking point. So share with our audience the before snapshot.
Yeah, I left corporate in, I think it was around 2016, 2017. Because I had found that I was basically running the agency that I was working at. I was running behind the scenes. I set up their HubSpot. I was running all of their, SOPs and infrastructure. I propped all of that up and I was getting paid like I was doing one job. And I was doing like low key, like 10. And so I was like, there's got to be a better way to do this. So I started OSnap Social on the side more seriously during that period. OSnap Social started due to several layoffs. And I think the universe was just trying to kick me in the pants saying like, don't be afraid. You can do this. You really can do this. And it kept laying me off and laying me off. And it wasn't until that last agency where I was like, I felt like I got that missing puzzle piece of like the infrastructure, because I've always been a creative, but I didn't know how to run a business really.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I have that missing piece now. It's time to fly. And that was the scariest conversation I've ever had to do. I'm a high achiever and I don't like quitting things once I've started, even though I need to look out for my own best interest, which segues perfectly into this next piece where it was 2021. I had a full client roster. And the only way I was going to continue to fulfill at the high level that I was used to fulfilling at was if I expanded my team. So I always say I accidentally started an agency because I had amazing referral partners early on, which is the whole reason why I got into helping thought leaders and authors in the first place. My favorite, and we're still friends today. We actually danced together Tuesday nights at hip hop just to let loose a little bit. But she is my greatest referral partner, and she's the one that I credit to my uh, success in the beginning. She trusted me, she believed in me even when I needed to borrow her belief, and she set me up. And I was growing so fast that I was like, there's not enough hours in a day to deliver all that I need to deliver at the scale and the quality that I wanted to deliver in. So I started acquiring team members. And then I looked around one day in 2021 and I was like, I had 8 team members, which, for a small business like mine, a remote business, everyone worked from their house. Doesn't sound like a lot, but from someone who is used to operating as a solo girly, kind of a lot of people. And I never had to manage people before. So it's not a skill set that I, one, felt confident in having or knew how to do really. And so I grew and grew and grew, and I kept saying yes to clients and yes and yes. And I ended up having this full roster that slowly I hated, like hated. And team members that, were also kind of withering away because of the workload. And so I just didn't properly prepare for that kind of growth. And, woe is me. I know, like, first world problems, like my business grew so much, cool. But it didn't grow in a way that was sustainable. And I burned out really quickly because I was operating as a manager, not as a creative, which is the whole reason why I started this business in the first place.
Yeah.
And it was fast forward to 2022. End of 2021, I found out I was pregnant with my first child. 2022, middle of the year, around July timeframe, I had set up all the systems to have other team members take over for me. And one just kind of ghosted, like disappeared. It was very odd. I was like, do I need to send a carrier pigeon? Are you okay? Are you in a ditch somewhere? Like, I just didn't know what was going on. And candidly, I had spent weeks preparing her for me to be out on maternity leave, like weeks. And now she's gone. I'm about to deliver in a week, 2 weeks. I can't possibly train anyone else. Thank goodness for my online business manager, Alexis. If you're listening, you the best girl. And she took over some of those client calls for me so that my content producers could operate in that creative lens that they enjoyed. And I knew coming back from maternity leave, I couldn't run my business like that anymore. Even though 2022, I not only created a human, and I also had the biggest revenue I've had in my business year to date so far in business, but I was also the most unhappy business owner you've probably ever met.
Yeah.
And I had no creativity. I was in complete burnout. And that's what I realized, like, what burnout actually means is like when you totally lose, like, what made you, either in a personal sense or a business sense. And my therapist is like, nah, girl, that's that's what you call burnout? I don't know. I'm like, oh, I've heard about this phenomenon, but I never knew the definition for me, for what that looked like. And so that was the craziest and scariest part, is not only are my hormones like all over the place because of having a newborn, but also my entire business was built in a way that I didn't like.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, something's got to change.
And that is, I mean, and usually at that point, it's too late because you're burnt out, right? Yeah. And we're missing the signs because you always think it's something else. Oh, it's because it's growing pains. Oh, it's because it's hormonal. Oh, it's things in my life are shifting. And it's when we realize that something has to give. And, and I love it because when we were, emailing each other before the show and everything, and looking at tied in to the show, you had this perfect, you said, this theme right here is letting go of what no longer serves you. It's the letting it go of living it up, loving it up, and letting it go.
Yeah.
And we have to, right? We have to realize that it's okay to have to let go of something, even if you spent all this time building it, right? Because I think sometimes people think, well, I went through this door, so now I have to keep going. And it's like, no, you don't have to. You can turn around and go out it. Even though you might have spent 10 years on a mistake, should you spend 10 more years on a mistake? And it doesn't mean it was a mistake at the time. It's just, now it's growing different. Now it's doing different, and it's okay to change.
Yes.
And I think that's where we have more problems and more pain from not letting go, or from holding on, than from letting go. Yes.
And it took me, until 2023, I was at a live event with a bunch of other business owning women, like business owner women, moms. And that's when I returned to my why. Why did I start this business in the first place?
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't to be chained to my laptop. And it certainly wasn't to manage other people, to be accountable to the work that I hired them to do. So it was a big old wake-up call that I had to just rebuild and do it a little bit differently, more strategically and intentionally.
Well, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about burning it down to build it better. But before we go, tell folks how they can connect with you.
You can connect with me on LinkedIn, use Karlyn Ankrom over there, or visit my website, osnapsocial.com.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. You are listening to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We're leading in boardrooms and living rooms, in startups and schools, on stages and in silence. The Lead, Live, and Love Like a Woman trilogy is a bold, unapologetic book series for women who are done waiting for permission. Hi, I'm Erica Gifford Mills, and I didn't create this trilogy to teach women how to lead, live, or love. We are already doing that. We need your voices. Apply now to become a co-author and share your story in this powerful movement. Visit balancesymmetry.com.
Have you ever faced a situation where you weren't quite sure how to handle it with poise, confidence, and grace? Of course you have. We all have. Well, tune in to the Change Mastery Show with me, John J. Murphy. Together, my co-host, Dr. Pat, and I will introduce you to a different way to think about change. Not as something to fear or resist, but as a gift. Join us the second Wednesday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. Subscribe, share, and start your journey to mastery at johnjmurphy.org.
Do you want to better understand and embrace neurodiversity? I'm Dr. Lori Noto, with over 30 years of experience working with diverse and unique individuals. Through my consulting and purpose-driven life coaching, I focus on empowering individuals with disabilities. My passion is advocacy, providing the tools for neurodiverse individuals to thrive and feel included in classrooms, workplaces, and communities. Unlock the potential of possibility, power, and purpose. Connect with me today at notoholisticconsulting.com.
Welcome back to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. If you missed any portion of today's episode, you can catch it on getrootedradio.com. Don't forget to subscribe online to receive the latest news, events, words of encouragement, and specials. Go to getrootedradio.com. During our first segment, we discussed burnout and the breaking point. And during this segment, we are going to talk about burning it all down to build it up better with my guest, Karlyn Ankrom. So just, I guess, tell us, the decision to pause, step back, and really reevaluate was more than just about your professional life, right? It was about your whole life. So how we know that you were burnt out, right? So the fire was already started.
Yes.
So what were your next steps? Why did you feel you needed to just restructure and break down everything?
Because I simply could not continue to operate like I was. For a few reasons. One, just mental health capacity. And also I had a newborn who rightfully so was taking majority of my attention. And I was not operating from a business perspective in alignment at all, like at all. And that's why my creative juices totally dried up. That's why I was saying yes to clients because I was scared that the money would disappear, right? When I really should have said no because we were at capacity. I was also at that time chasing this like number that the internet was all, make $1 million in 5 seconds. And you're like, that sounds great. And then you run and run and run and run and run. And then you're like running. And then you're like, where did I go wrong? And there was this comparison that was happening that was making me really resentful towards my business as well. And I would have more of those days where I'm like, burn it down, burn it all down. And one day I kind of more or less did that. And it sort of happened in a way that was not like uh like ousting the fire completely. It happened very naturally, right? Like I think team members were like, and I'm out. And I was like, that's fine. And clients, we would wrap up our engagement. And then I just would say, hey, like, we're not going to renew. We're going to go this direction. If you want to hang out, this is the direction we're going in. Some were like, yeah, I'm in. And some were like, I'm good. I'm like, great. So we were whittling it down. And last year, so 2024 was my rebuild year. 2023, I was waking up and realizing like this is gonna be good and it's got to get better because I can't keep operating like that. And everyone who builds a business with a baby on their hip, like kudos to you because that ish is difficult. I had to slow down. There was no other choice. Either I was going to burn out even further that I would not even want to get up in the morning, or I could slow it down, take a step back, reevaluate, and rebuild from there. And it took me going to a live event with a bunch of other like-minded people that opened my eyes and made me remember my why. Why did I start this business 11 years ago and 8 for full-time for myself? Why did I do that? I did that so I would have time freedom. I did that so I didn't have to ask a boss for a day off at work. I did that so I could be unapologetically myself and creative at the highest capacity possible. And I wasn't doing that because I was so burnt out.
It's that realignment, right? And
Yes.
we talk about work-life balance, and I agree with it, but I don't agree with it because there's never balance, right?
No,
it's
never.
not just a teeter-totter. There's like a bunch of different rungs, and it should be alignment, right?
Yes.
What your life alignment is, not just work, right?
Yes.
Work, personal hobbies, family, relationships, community, everything. And as we talked about during the last segment, how you tied in letting go for the burnout, you have another tie-in to the my tagline, the living it up, loving it up, letting it go. And this is loving yourself enough to choose differently.
Yeah.
And I love this because you looked at, what makes us up, what makes us authentic for ourselves is, and self-aware is, what are our values, what are our beliefs, not other people's, right? Yes. And when we get off of our values and off of our beliefs, we become unaligned. Yeah. And I love that you took that moment to say, wait, what is my why? And sometimes your whys change, and I think that's okay. But why did I do this to begin with? Is that still aligned with who I am and what I want? If it's not, we got to change it. If what I'm doing is no longer aligned with my why originally, and that's still my why, then we need to get that alignment back. And absolutely. I love that you took the time to have that discussion, and that you were self-aware enough through discussions with other people to say, aha, this is my aha moment. Yeah. And I shouldn't say this, I'll make it an I statement. I've had that moment. Like I go out and I'm doing something, and I realized I didn't ever really wanted to do this. Oh, why? How did I get here?
Yeah.
Because I was listening to other people.
Yes.
And because I thought like, oh, this is what I need to do. And it's when I realized, no, I don't need to do it. And I'm not doing it for me. What do I say about goals all the time? You know, making them smart, right? Not just your business smart, but my twist on smart. Yes, you still have to make them specific and measurable and attainable and all those kind of things. But is it special? Is it memorable? Is it authentic? Is it arousing? Is it rewarding? And is it true to you? And if it's not those things, why are you doing it? And I found myself falling into that. And I think that's what's great, that you're like, nope, we got to burn it down. Let's start over, because I'm not aligned with who I am, who I want to be, and why I created this in the first place. So a big kudos to you.
Thank you. It was a long time coming, and I would rather not anyone get to that burnout place and recognize the signs sooner, because man, it was like, you know, crawling out of that hole was difficult, but I lived to tell the tale. You know, I'm here, and last year was a rebuild year, 2020 or 2024 was a rebuild year, 2025 we were getting up there in revenue and in fulfillment, in terms of like my bucket feeling full, my team being as lean as I've ever had it. I would low key be nothing if I didn't have my team to lean on. So that doesn't fall short, you know, for me to really amplify my team and edify the just incredible work that they do day in and day out to support me, to support the clients, and keeping them top of mind at all times. And, you know, from an agency's perspective, we're a boutique agency and we like it that way. We keep ourselves small in terms of the amount of clients. Why? Because we can actually end up charging more. Like, you know, like that was like a big aha moment to me too. And like, who says that I can only charge this amount? Who says?
Right.
No one. You know, and I have people to pay, and I have myself to pay, and retirement that I'm saving for, like all these things. And I'm, you know, an agency model is not for everybody. And I also do my due diligence in educating any person that comes to me to understand the difference between hiring a virtual assistant, hiring a freelancer versus hiring an agency. All are great, great solutions. All are not created equal. And so it always just depends on what their goals are. And I also love that you talked about SMART goals, and I love your definition, kind of better than the traditional one. So I like, you know, I really try to hone in on that, because we're not for everybody, and that's okay. And that took me a long time to grapple with that statement as a whole of like, we are not for everyone, and that's okay.
Yes. And that, I mean, and that's a big thing, is that you do want to, I mean, business owners, you want to have your niche, right? And because if you say, I'm for everybody, what makes you special?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's really important. I know we've got to go to our next break, but what are 2 signs that people should look for before they get to the burnout stage? Because you said, you know, you wish that people wouldn't have to go to that point. And sometimes you do, right? Sometimes you do have to hit rock bottom, right, before you can go up, or sometimes you have to do something. But what is something that people are thinking it's something else? You know, and it's hard, like irritability, right? Well,
I felt like
sometimes I'm just irritable.
everything felt hard. Like it
Yeah.
felt really hard. Everything, even like the creative stuff, felt hard. And that was supposed to be the easy part for me, because my focus was getting pulled in too many directions. So if it feels harder than it had been before, it's just because you're not operating in alignment with who you are and what you want to be doing. And
I love that.
that's hard to do, because you're like, you know, a lot of business people out there like, well, you're not operating with the CEO mind. Okay, well, like that's not how I want a CEO. Like I still want to be part of the creative team, even if it's more of the visionary, which is what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
You know, and consulting my team and my like that's what I like to do. So that was the biggest like red flag for me. I also think I hired too fast and fired too slow.
Yeah.
So I was like desperate. Like I got to that desperation mode, and I took on way too many clients too quickly. I operated from a fear mindset.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the birth of the Expert Excellence Engine. But before we go, tell folks how they can connect with you.
Find me on LinkedIn, Karlyn Ankrom, or on the web, osnapsocial.com.
Thank you so much. I'm Erica Gifford Mills, and you are listening to Get Rooted Radio, living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Shanti Mission, a school for the soul. If you're seeking personal transformation, deeper spiritual awareness, sacred music, or the support of a welcoming community, Shanti Mission offers signature workshops and healing programs in a warm and inclusive space, designed for growth and connection. For more information and to access free resources, visit shantimission.org. Together, we can anchor peace.
We're leading in boardrooms and living rooms, in startups and schools, on stages and in silence. The Lead, Live, and Love Like a Woman trilogy is a bold, unapologetic book series for women who are done waiting for permission. Hi, I'm Erica Gifford Mills, and I didn't create this trilogy to teach women how to lead, live, or love. We are already doing that. We need your voices. Apply now to become a co-author and share your story in this powerful movement. Visit balancesymmetry.com.
Looking for more love, joy, and purpose in your life? Lisa Eve is here to guide you. Through intuitive support, healing, and soulful travel, she empowers you to embrace self-love as the key to happiness. Explore her book, The Love Channel, Finding Your Way to Happiness, available on Amazon. And find daily inspiration at thehappychannel.com. Start living your most radiant, joy-filled life today.
Festa della Donna with Esther Graham honors all women far beyond a single day of celebration. Regardless of your race, gender, sexual orientation, or religion, Esther helps you rise to your full potential to live fully in God's plan and to do what you were divinely created to do. Festa della Donna offers programs that help you fulfill your dreams and desires. For more information and to get your free copy of the Festa della Donna Retreat Self-Care Guide, visit fdbwomen.com.
We're back on Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills, living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Don't forget to visit getrootedradio.com to listen to a replay of this episode, sign up for helpful tips, and learn about upcoming events. That's getrootedradio.com. Welcome back to my guest, Karlyn Ankrom. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me. This has been so fun.
Oh, I love it, and I'm learning so much already. So during the last segments, we've discussed burnout, breaking point, and burning it down to build it better. During this segment, we're going to discuss the birth of the Expert Excellence Engine. So go on in. What was your philosophy on it, and how did you really get your clarity after the burnout?
Yeah, so I knew there had to be a better way to build a business. My first thing that I knew I had to do, because, I mean, looking at a P&L sheet, as any good business person does, you're like, agency still makes me a decent amount of money to pay my bills, and daycare, listen, is expensive. So I knew I had to build that up more intentionally first. However, I think it was around 2024, March, April, May, that spring, I had been working inside of Forbes Books, which is an imprint of Advantage Media. I was filling in for someone who was on maternity leave, and the CMO who I had reconnected with at Content Marketing World that previous October was like, hey, would you be interested in coming in here and helping us out with our socials and our programming and consulting some authors? I was like, absolutely. I've helped over 40 authors at that point in my agency for their book launch experience alongside my friend who's that PR professional. And I was like, absolutely, happy to do it. And that's when I kind of had an epiphany while I was working inside there of from a publishing perspective, publishers, just the way that it's been developed and how the system works is you get the book deal, or you either write your book and you get published, and that's kind of it. There's no very few publishing houses or publish, even hybrid publishers or those that help you from the self-published promotion aspect, help with that next ongoing next step. And I was like, that's a darn shame because, you know, the confetti settles and you're left with this book baby and you're like, okay, how do I continue to nurture this thing? How do I continue to amplify all the work that I've already done? And instead, it feels like for a lot of authors that I've talked to and witnessed is publishers kind of leave us on the side of the road, on the corner, and they're like, have a great life. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your book. And you're like, huh? And I knew there was another way to do that. And there's a lot of people that help, again, for that launch period. But wasn't finding a lot of people that kind of helped after launch for that continuity to amplify the book beyond book sales, right? So like, how do we build it to be a brand? How do we build it to get you more speaking opportunities? And so I saw a gap in the market. And again, this is a newer product for me, but it's leaning into what feels in line with me, which is teaching people, sharing my energy around why I love digital marketing and how it can really be a tool now and beyond book launches, and really help personal brands and really thought leaders with fancy letters at the beginning and end of their names amplify without second guessing every single thing they post. I've interviewed all these people. I've worked with many of them, and their expertise is not social media, rightfully so. They're sleep scientists and, like all these amazing people. And they're like, I don't have time to figure this out, but I know that this is an imperative piece of building my brand up to be better than it has been. So I can open the door, so I can make my, lasting impact on the world, whatever that may be. And so those are the folks that I'm looking to help, is like those heart-centered brainiacs, right? Who have a message, have a mission, and are wanting to amplify that beyond their book launch, because I've seen it so many times where it's like, it's here, congratulations, you build up all this momentum, and then suddenly it just stops. Yeah. And they don't know what to do next. And if you're out there listening and you've got a book and you're wondering, now what do I do? Like, we should talk. Like, I'm the now what person.
Yeah. And it's so important because your book might be amazing. I'm not saying this. I'm totally making this an I statement. I didn't become an author because I wanted to become an author. I wrote because it was very therapeutic for me. And that same reason why I speak, right? I speak because it helps me. And just the things I post on social media for my business and for everything, it's because I need the reminder. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm supposed to know these things, I say that tongue in cheek, but if I'm supposed to know these things and I forget them, I bet you there's a bunch of people out there who need this reminder. Yeah. So a lot of times why I write, why I speak, is because it's therapeutic in nature for me. Mm-hmm. I never went out there to become an author and become a New York Times bestseller. And most authors are not going to do that. Your dad's just going to write a book and all of a sudden it's going to get out there and that's it. Right. You aren't Stephen King, right? You're not, all these people who are bestsellers. And when they started, it didn't happen for them that way either. You have to do something with it. Mm-hmm. You have to get it out there. And that's not everybody's strong suit. And that's okay. Just like I am not an IT person. Building funnels and doing all that. I've got to pick up the phone and say, yeah, could I learn it? Yep, probably. Do I want to? Nope. I have no desire. Yeah. Somebody do it for me. I'll tell you what I want, but I don't want to do it. And that's okay. And that's why you need somebody like you in your corner when you're, if you're an author, so that you can get that information out there and get your product known for, if this is what you want, right? Exactly. And so when you first created this, right, the birth of the Expert Excellence Engine, you also, like I said, the last two, we tied in letting it go, and we tied in loving it up. And this one is a tie-in with living, right? It's living it up by finding more ease and joy in how you show up. And I love that because we want more. A lot of people say, I want financial freedom. which is true. Hey, if I didn't have to
that
worry
would be
about
lovely.
money, it would be lovely.
Yes.
But I also want general freedom. I want
Yeah.
time freedom, management freedom,
Yes.
you know, freedom to maybe work. I want to be a digital nomad. I want to be able to work wherever I want to work. You know, so if I'm on the beach, I can still work, right?
Yeah.
So this show tie-in that you had was living it up by finding more ease and joy in how you show up.
Yeah.
Tell me how that was important when you did it for yourself. What did it give you?
I feel like for me, I knew that I've always wanted to do a program like this. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I didn't know who it would be serving. But it's almost like I followed the breadcrumbs and it once again borrowed the belief from other people that edified me. And they're like, oh my gosh, yes, this is a problem. And yes, you definitely should be considering doing this. And it's very new. And so it's hard to answer this question because it feels very new. It feels like I'm starting over in a lot of ways. Like it's a brand new business, talking about it. It's a new niche. I've never had a niche down in my entire business existence. And to quote my business coach, she's like, isn't that nice? You know, where like you could walk into a room and literally pitch anyone in that room and they could take you up on your agency offers. Versus right now, I'm really leaning into talking to, speaking to groups of these nonfiction authors and publishers. Like that's my focus, and it feels energizing because it is kind of something new. But it's also feels a little vulnerable, right? A little bit like I'm starting to get my, like I'm a newborn, deer trying to walk about, like a little clumsy, but here I am just doing it anyway because there's no other choice, because I have a mission to help all these people get their message out to people and make that lasting impact. So for me, it's a little bit of this fun, I don't know, groovy in between that I'm feeling. And the more that I talk about it, like in this example, the better I think I get.
And visibility. I mean, that's what I do for speakers is to teach them that visibility isn't ego. And because it's hard. And I felt this way, right? Because when you're out there marketing yourself, you feel braggadocious. You feel like, oh, look at me. And it's like, no, that's not what I'm doing. And I had somebody ask me, well, do you think that of other people when they do it? I'm like, well, no. Then why do you think of it yourself? And I said, because it's me doing it. They said, well, if you had a restaurant, would you be promoting your restaurant? And I'm like, well, of course I would. And she goes, well, you're your restaurant. Yes, you don't have a brick and mortar. You are the brick and mortar. So you have to sell yourself without it feeling like you are bragging. And so I love that you brought that up, because it is very hard, I think, for some people to understand that marketing is not bragging. You have to, if you don't show off yourself, who's going to?
And people genuinely like cheering you on.
They do. And that's what I found. And also, like, kudos, congratulations. And the people who maybe do feel that, oh, look at her, those aren't your people.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're not for you.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to finish out the show with your message, your marketing, your way. This is Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We're leading in boardrooms and living rooms, in startups and schools, on stages and in silence. The Lead, Live, and Love Like a Woman trilogy is a bold, unapologetic book series for women who are done waiting for permission. Hi, I'm Erica Gifford Mills, and I didn't create this trilogy to teach women how to lead, live, or love. We are already doing that. We need your voices. Apply now to become a co-author and share your story in this powerful movement. Visit balancesymmetry.com.
Without Fear is a Chattanooga-based death doula practice helping individuals and families navigate end-of-life transitions with grace, courage, and compassion. Death Doula Alexis provides emotional support, practical guidance, and space to explore life's deepest questions. Through grief support, workshops, and education, Without Fear is breaking the taboo around death and empowering people to embrace mortality as part of living fully. Visit withoutfeardoula.com to learn more and find a safe space for all things life, death, and the in-between.
Tune in to Break Free and Trust, a redesign for living, with me, Jacqueline.
And me, Chris, on Transformation Talk Radio, every second and fourth Monday at 3 p.m.
Learn to connect with your intrinsic power to grow and to heal, and how to laugh at your own humanness and not take life too seriously.
Witness the field of potential that arises when you take personal responsibility and become the divine creator in your own life.
Visit theway-healing.com for more information.
Are you seeking spiritual growth, healing, and deeper understanding? Sharon Kumara is a healing practitioner and metaphysical teacher, guiding others through their spiritual journeys, helping them to connect on a deeper level. She calls on all seekers, healers, and souls yearning for truth to join in creating a more compassionate, awakened world. To learn more of what she offers and to experience the value of her teachings, visit kumaraacademy.com.
Welcome back to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. If you missed any of the information during the last segments, go to getrootedradio.com to listen to the replay. Don't forget to subscribe, sign up for tips and special events and pricing for upcoming speaking and coaching sessions at getrootedradio.com. Welcome back to my guest, See, I almost said Karlyn. I always said it's not Karlyn. Karlyn Ankrom. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell folks how they can connect with you.
You can find me on LinkedIn at Karlyn Ankrom or on the line at osnapsocial.com.
Thank you so much. So during the last few segments, we discussed burnout, breaking point, burning it down, and the birth of the Expert Excellence Engine. And during this last segment, we're going to discuss your message, your marketing, your way. So what are some want to kind of go over some, tips and tricks and really tangible encouragement for authors. And so let's just let listeners hear, what should we be doing and where can we let go of things? Where can we live more fully and love more fully, to tie in the show themes, because you've done it so well.
I love that. Okay. Also, kudos to the alliteration, because I also love alliteration. So first, we're going to let go of imposter monster. It's that annoying thing that sits on your shoulder that's like, everyone's already said this. Why are you saying it? You're no good. Blah, 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 blah. It's just chatter and noise. And I think in that if you haven't listened to the last section of this, go back and listen to it, because we talked a little bit about it at the end of like showing up anyway. Showing up consistently, showing up even if there's someone else that's talked about that topic. No one is you. And I always, say this for people in the social media landscape. There are millions of social media managers you could hire, but there's only one Karlyn. And I'm not for everybody, and that's okay.
Yes.
And I think being, to kind of come full circle, being okay with that is very empowering. And showing up anyway. So you're going to let go of that imposter monster. You're going to live it up by posting anyway, and creating content that not only focuses on your book and beyond, but all the knowledge and the expertise that you've put into that book, that behind the scenes. People do not always want to see the most polished version of yourself. Is that vulnerable? Abso-freaking-lutely it is. Is that necessary in today's social media landscape? 158% yes. So think of ways where you still feel authentically you, but you can show up a little bit more transparent, a little bit more, I'm not going to say rough around the edges, because that's not the right thing, but more uncurated.
Yeah, unpolished, right?
Unpolished.
You don't have to be perfect. Like
you don't have. It doesn't need to be like a professional brand image, though. If you're like me and you just got new brand images, feel free because you paid money for those and get those out there in the world. But will a selfie on your walk in a weighted vest with a ball cap, as long as the story aligns with what you're saying, work? Absolutely. It's one of my top performing posts of the year. I'm like, great. Me, an ugly, sweaty selfie of me. Cool. But hey, it resonated with people.
Oh yeah, I've done that when I've been up what I call my tree house, and here I am, no makeup, my glasses, and I've got like a sundress on and a hat, and people are like, what? I'm like,
yeah, because people are tired of seeing filtered versions of people, and they're also kind of tired of seeing like perfect AI stuff too. But that's a different topic for a different day.
That's a whole other podcast. Yes. No, and I laugh because I just had some new pictures done, and because I got my hair cut, but I said, he goes, I'll have them to you tonight. And I'm like, tonight? He's like, well, you don't ask for editing. And I go, well, no, I don't want you to edit because I already don't look like myself because my hair is done and I have makeup on. And I don't wear makeup every day. I don't do my hair every day. And so people look at it and they think, oh, wow, look at you. I go, well, listen, when you have a glam gal and a really good photographer, guess what? This is what I look like. And that's not anything touched up. It's just, I look good because they made me look good.
Exactly.
Otherwise, so I don't want editing because it isn't me every day. And someone's going to see me and say, oh, that's not this. It's like catfishing somebody, putting on a dating site a picture of you from 10 years ago.
And listen, this is a good point right now. If your LinkedIn photo is partying like it's 1999, please change it. I'm just going to say that for the people.
Yes. Well, I had a laugh because I had a book. So I know I'm getting a little off topic, but it goes to being authentic and letting go of perfection. Well, I had a book and that picture on it, it was me. It was a recent picture, but unfortunately I got cancer, and within 2 weeks of starting chemo, I lost all my hair. So when it officially launched, I was actually bald. Right. And this picture's got a picture of me, long, dark hair. And someone's like, that's you? And I'm like, really? I did used to look like that. I said, and it's not even that it was 6 months old, but it's those things happen, right? But if you do change your look drastically, you do want to update stuff, right? And have that. But you don't have to be perfect. And I think that is one of the issues with social media in today's is that typically everybody posts their A side, right? Yeah. And so don't compare yourself to what everybody's A side is, because you were getting to it earlier. We only see the tip of the iceberg, right? We don't see everything that has happened underneath or how many years it has taken you to get to that top. And so it's okay. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Well, because one, comparison is a thief of joy. Yeah. That just takes everything away. And you might only be seeing their A side. You're not seeing their B side or the songs that didn't even make it onto, I almost said onto the tape. Wow. I dated myself.
I'm here for that. I was picking up what you were putting down. That makes sense.
And we said it during the break, you guys didn't get to hear us, but what other people think about you is none of your business. Like, yes, of course you want the people to like you or like your book or like your speaking and like that, but not everybody's going to. And if you just accept that right away and you find your right people, then that's what's important. That's your audience, and that's who's going to be your tribe, be your group.
And that's a great segue into saying, like, you have to know who you want to serve with your book, with your programs. Who are those ideal clients for you, and speak to them in your content.
Absolutely. So let go of the woulda, shoulda, couldas. Open up, right? I think you sent to me, it said, letting it go so you can love what you do again and live the life that you deserve. Yeah. And I think that is a perfect way to end our segment. But before we go, tell folks one more time how they can connect with you, learn more about Snap Social and Expert Excellence Engine.
It is a mouthful indeed.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, you can hang out with me, Karlyn Ankrom over there. You can visit me at osnapsocial.com. There's a tab at the top that has the Expert Excellence Engine, so you can learn more about it there.
Thank you so much for being on the show today. I've loved our conversations, and I know we'll be talking again soon.
Thank you so much, Erica.
Thank you. And I want to thank you all for tuning in to Get Rooted Radio. If you missed any part of today's episode or want to listen again, go to getrootedradio.com for the podcast. And don't forget to tune in the first and third Monday of each month at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, and 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on Transformation Talk Revolution. As we close out today's episode, I want to remind you that you are enough. You are worthy. If you are hurting or need help, please know the world needs you, and it is a better place with you in it. Don't let the hard days win. Reach out for assistance. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. The hours are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's free. Or text HOME, HOME, to 741-741 to reach a trained crisis counselor through the crisis text line. Again, 24/7, free and confidential. Thank you for tuning in. Have an amazing day. Happy New Year. Know that you are loved. And I'm looking forward to the next time on Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills. Living it up, loving it up, letting it go. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills, living it up, loving it up, and letting it go. Visit getrootedradio.com if you've missed any part of this hit show, and tune in on transformationtalkradio.com to live fearlessly in your more and powerfully rooted in your unlimited yes. For more information and to work with Erica directly, visit getrootedradio.com. That's getrootedradio.com, and get ready to live it up, love it up, and let it go.